Let's talk about C-curves. So you may have heard of the concept of CSI. And these are three simple curves that we can use to construct our drawings, especially in like figure drawing. We can get some very nice gestures with just three curves. Now in the Mastering Line Work video, we learned that we can achieve an infinite number of variations in our lines. But for now, I just want us to focus on these three. The goal here is going to go from these simple lines and then eventually add complexity as we start to build up our drawings. So again, a lot of what we do in art is going to follow that pattern. We're going to start with simple and then we add complexity. So we go from general to specific. And we're going to repeat that over and over. So again, we'll start, with these simple lines, and then as we add to our drawings, we can add more complexity on top of these lines. So what is a C-curve? So a C-curve is essentially a simple flowing curved line shaped like the letter C. Right? But of course, it can go in any direction. It can have different depths. So any one of these can be considered a C-curve. And we'll see these everywhere, and especially in the human figure, in arms, legs, hair, spine. If you break things down to their most simple shapes, these C-curves are going to be very common. Let's look at this pose and see if we can find some C-curves. See a C-curve there. C-curves in the legs. Another one here. And eventually we'll learn about S-curves, but essentially if you combine two C-curves in opposite directions, you're going to get an S-curve. Let's see, there's more here. Another one here. We can even go from the neck almost down to the foot and get a nice C-curve. Like that. So they're everywhere. And again, these curves are intended to be used to help us understand complex forms. So if we approach a pose like this, it's very complex. There's a lot of things going on here with the contour. It can be kind of daunting. So in order to help us understand the form, we can break it down into simple C-curves. There's one there. So again, these lines are everywhere. And if we combine our C-curves with straight lines and with S-curves, we can get a nice breakdown of what this pose is doing without adding all the subtleties. So again, that's going back to the concept that we just talked about, where when we approach things, we're going to look at them, we're going to try to break them down to their simplest form. And then once we have things in place, we're going to add on top of that. Another curve there. So again, these things are everywhere. Let's go over some exercises that we can do to help us practice C-curves. So one of them is going to be similar to our straight line exercise, and that's connecting the dots. Let's go ahead and place some dots, and then we can just connect these with C-curves. And you can change how much each curve is bending. Now, if this isn't challenging enough for you, you can try to connect 3 dots. And remember that things are not always going to be perfect. So here, I got pretty close, but I didn't quite hit the target. Same thing here. This one's pretty good. I was able to hit that high point and the end point. And then my other favorite C curve exercise, and this one was very helpful for me, is let's draw a sphere first. If you're not comfortable drawing spheres, check out the circle video. So now that we have our sphere, we can start adding C curves. So this exercise was very helpful for me, and it helped out a lot when I was learning how to shade. So I used to have this problem whenever I would draw my line of termination, or the point where my sphere would go from light to dark, or light to shadow, I mean. My line was always very straight, and I couldn't wrap my head around it for a really long time. I didn't understand why my spheres didn't look spherical, and it was like these connection points here and here. So what's happening is that when we get to these ends here, the surface is starting to roll or move away from us, right? Like if you follow the curvature of that sphere, it's moving away from us. So again, my lines here were always very flat. So this exercise kind of helped me get a feel for that that movement that we get here at the beginning and end points of the curve. So one thing I want you to focus on when doing this is how you're wrapping around that sphere. So again, imagine this is a ball and we're going around. So again, avoid straight lines like this, okay? You don't want this. You want the line here at the end to curve around the sphere. So again, give this a try. And if that lighting stuff doesn't make sense now, don't worry. We'll go over shading in a later section of this training. Try these exercises out and let me know in the comments if there are any others that you enjoy doing. I would love to give them a try. So again, please give this video a like and keep practicing. I'll see you next time.